Hello everyone, it's Scott. Welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Valve Skyblock Expert Mode. So it's turning dark. I've disabled the auto spawner here, and I'm going to turn off all the lights here, so that way I can start spawning some monsters. So my goal here is I want to get a skeleton into this Safari net, and I'd like to then pump it through some witch water so I can get some of the wither skeletons. So yep, so I'm going to check back on this in a bit. So whoops, I have to be a little bit careful. This jetpack won't last forever. In fact, I think it's almost out of fuel. Yep, I'm down to 4 out of 27. So had a little bit of a backup here with the storage system. I ended up clearing out a lot of bows, but what I really need to do is get a disenchanter, and so this block here, the auto disenchanter, strips enchantments off of any item. And so what I'm thinking of is I also want to get a router. I think it's right here, the enchantment router. And what we can do, what this guy does is it basically separates enchanted items from non-enchanted items. So things like this iron leggings I don't really care about, but I might want to strip off the like the prots and the fire protection. Then ideally I want to get a projectile protection and maybe put a feather falling on these rubber boots. So whenever I do these hard landings, I'm not going to keep damaging the boots. That's I only have a 1/3 left on that guy. So yeah, so all the material gathering is still working pretty good. I ended up fixing the lava tank here. So if we head down, what you'll see is, I'll touch more on that in a minute. So I have 1.5 million millibuckets, so 1,500 buckets of lava. And I'm not doing this through the lava fabricator. In fact, I shut that guy off because I have created a lava farm right here, which is fulfilling all of my lava needs. So this is a standard ex nihilo crucibles being fed by a cobble gen, and so I have a buffer here of a cache. And so underneath I have a netherrack with fire, and that's giving a 3 times melting speed multiplier on each one of these crucibles. And so they're all piping in here through hardened fluid ducts back into the tank. And I am net positive turning off the RF consuming lava fabricator. So this guy is no longer pumping, and it's a good thing because that guy is an energy hog. I don't know if that's just something that happened here in Infinity, but it's definitely not that efficient of a device. So down here in the machine level, let's go down another level. So I ended up crafting a resonant pulverizer, and I'm planning on probably making a resonant induction smelter next. So I started hooking up formulas into that. So I'm having a problem with this. If I could bring up, no, actually it looks like this is working fine. So for some reason the logistics chassis was getting jammed up here on the alloy smelter. I'm not sure why that continues to happen. The canning process is working out pretty good. I ended up making, might as well head over. So I ended up making a couple more fuel rods. So I've expanded now to 4 nuclear reactors, nuclear chambers, 6 nuclear chambers each. So this is filled up. This guy is filled, and this is my 7 configuration. So I haven't quite upgraded everything yet. The MOX has completed, so that's working out good. So I'm going to demo what I'm going to do with that shortly. I ended up building a couple more capacitors here. So I'm up to 40,000 RF on the base and another 18,000 here. So what that's doing is buffering all of my Innovation Dynamo production. So I'm thinking of expanding the farm over here. I added a mushroom farm down there. That's what's in the dark blocks. So I'm thinking of adding iron. I'm not sure why that keeps clearing around there. That's so odd. So I'm thinking of adding iron and maybe and so as soon as I get the next level of the induction smelter, I'm going to start making platinum. So up here on the top is what I want to cover in this episode, which is I'm starting on the IC2 replication process. So there's 5 blocks that I'm going to need in order to kind of work through this whole stack. So the first is the recycler. And this guy is pretty simple. That's why I made 4 of them. They take any kind of block and give you a 1 in 8 chance of creating a scrap. And so I've been running this for a little bit, and I've already created 15 stacks of scrap. And once you have that, what you can do with this is combine them into combine them into this scrap box. And so the scrap box is what I need in the next phase, where I'm going to use that to power the Mass Fabricator. So let's add this back. Okay, I guess I did end up adding it here after all. It's 15 stacks. So the next block that I need is the scanner. And so this block is what is going to basically read in what I want to replicate, and it's going to store those into crystalline memories. So those are over here, crystal memory, which are made from melting down raw memory, which is made from dust and silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide is from taking clay and putting it through the centrifuge. So that's not hard at all. So the next block I need is the Mass Fabricator. And so this is what's going to take in EU power and produce UU matter fluid. And you can speed up the fabrication process with the scrap boxes. Basically, it drastically reduces the amount of EU that it takes to produce a unit of UU matter. And so what do you do with the UU matter? Well, you have to put it through a replicator. And so the replicator blocks also take power, but they use the UU fluid to basically duplicate a object. And so you have to take a block, scan it, and then the scan has to be stored into a pattern storage. Let's find that. The pattern storage block, which is unfortunately an expensive one because of this mining laser again. So a little convoluted to go through. But I've walked through how to do it before, so it's not that difficult. And then the problem is that the replicator requires a pattern, can only read in the patterns that have been stored in the pattern storage. And so the scanner scans, stores it in the storage. The replicator reads from the storage, takes the UU matter from the Mass Fabricator, and produces the item, all for a tremendous amount of EU or RF power. So let's start walking through what I need to do. Okay, the first thing I need is something to replicate. So let's grab, now that I'm in my full protection suit, let's grab the fuel rod out and head back down to the machine area, where I'm going to work on crafting the Iridium Ore. So let's load this into the machine for it to process. And while that's running, I should have some plutonium here. I have 44 units of tiny plutonium. So let's take that and melt that down into the large blocks of plutonium. Okay, and so what can we do with this? So plutonium will produce MOX nuclear fuel, and it will produce the pellets of RTG fuel. So you can see here dense iron plate as well as regular uranium. So let's order up a batch of dense iron, and we're going to need at least 6 of those. 6 request. Great. And so this is going to need to heat up for a bit, so let's let that go. And so let's start crafting. Let's see if we can build one of the MOX nuclear fuel. Actually, before I go much farther than this, okay, so the nuclear fuel is what I need with the RTG fuel to produce one iridium ore. And so let's see if I can get that up and running. So one MOX nuclear fuel, and then let's wait for the depleted MOX to melt down, as well as the plates to roll in. Alright, the dense iron plate is done, so let's throw that in here, along with the plutonium. And so that should give us our pellet of RTG fuel. Excellent. And let's take this tiny plutonium and just craft one more plutonium out of it. Excellent. So let's head up and throw that in the assembly table. So let's go over here and dink dink. And that should open up Iridium Ore. There we go. So let's get that started. That's going to take how many zeros? 80 million RF. So quite a fair amount at 960 RF per tick. I could probably double this now because this fluctuating item duct handles up to 2000 RF per tick. As well as this, putting this buffer capacitor is working out. The golden kinesis pipe handles 2000 RF per tick, so I could probably double my laser arrays if I cared. Yeah, so I'm at half of 1 million already. So let's head back over here and check that I've sent in a request for a scanner, and so it looks like everything should be complete. So reinforced glass, iron plate, electric motors, more illuminators, advanced circuits, and done. So there's our scanner. So let's head up and throw that together. And that means that the next step is I have to start making. Yeah, let's throw it down right here. Sure. So this is kind of a wacky interface. So the block is going to basically anything I feed here, I think. Yep. So it's going to wait until I have that crystalline memory here before it'll start scanning. So let's figure out what I need to do for that next. All right. As I mentioned before, we burned down clay dust in the thermal centrifuge in order to get our silicon dioxide, and the clay dust is basically taking regular clay blocks and running through the macerator. I'm getting a lot of my clay now from the sludge boiler, so that's just passively getting everything. So, all right, let me grab the silicon dioxide and let's head up and see if we can build the crystalline memory at this time. So let's crystalline memory raw. Okay, I should have obsidian powder, I think. It's pulverized obsidian. Let's try the formula again, see if that's an option. Pulverized obsidian. There we go. So let's request. So let's put this in the inventory and then see if we can. Okay, so request successful. There's one. Let's request another one. And done. And so we need to take these and then put them through a furnace. So should not be that hard. There we go. 1 and 2. Done. Okay. So let's take this, head upstairs, and put them into the scanner. Great. So, all right. So one thing I wanted to scan was the uranium because, I'm sorry, the plutonium, because I think now I'd done this test in the test world, but you know, I wanted to see which of the different materials was going to take. Whoops. Okay, this isn't going to work until I actually power the machine. So let's grab. All right, so let's actually hook the scanner up to electricity here. So let's grab that. Actually, let's keep it a little neater than this. I really didn't need to do that. So let's put this wire here to here. Okay, great. And so at this point, energy loss. Okay, there. Oh, okay. So this is not providing enough power to run the scanner. All right, interesting. Okay, so let's try. Let's see if it's a matter of because I'm piggybacking too many of these machines together. So let's grab that. Where should I link it? Let's link it over to a new connector here. Okay. See if that does the trick. Or am I going to have to go all the way up to... let's see if I need to go up to HV wire. Okay, so plutonium. Okay, that's working. All right, so I guess I was piggybacking too many different machines together. Okay. All right, so it looks like I have way too many things that are demanding energy right now. And so, anyway, I just wanted to show that one uranium is going to it's going to require 291 millibuckets of UU matter, whereas a iridium ore is only going to require 120. And oh shoot, I just noticed that just destroyed my uranium. Okay, that was a bad idea. I could have just read off the number. Okay, so rather than lose the device, I'm going to save it to lose the plutonium. I'm going to save the crystal memory. I made the investment of power and the item. Might as well give myself the potential to replicate it in the future. So at this point, I'm going to wait for my iridium ore to finish producing here. And yep, I'm only, well, a little chunk into it. So I'll check in when this is done. Alright, now that I turned off the lights and it's night, and I turned off the grinder, all these monsters are now spawning. Let's see how much. I have a little bit of durability left in my sword. It's really not the safest of things because of the... I don't have armor. In fact, what am I doing? I don't have armor. So let's throw on a projectile protection. Let's throw on, I don't know, what's the best unbreaking Prot 3 helmet? Yeah, I'm like sitting on top of armor here, even though it is kind of crappy. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. Let's find some unbreaking boots and some Prot 3 leggings. So throw that on. That should be good enough to save me from most of these monsters. Though, yeah, I didn't really think of like how I'm going to grab these guys. Let's see, can I reach? Oh, I can reach the skeleton right here. So let's see if I can grab him with the safari net. In fact, no, let's build up a little platform, and then we will grab him with the safari net. So come over here just a little bit, dude. Creeper. There we go. Yep, one skeleton in a safari net. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to turn, so this should power up again. Yep, there we go. So that'll start eating all the mobs. And let's resecure the dark glass. And good. So that'll prep me for the next step of my master plan. All right. So what I ended up doing was turning off the sand feed here to the soul sound factory. And so what I'm going to do is just take one of these buckets of witch water, and let me reconnect this guy. And so the witch water is kind of an interesting has an interesting property. Oh, by the way, I ended up building more lasers. Let's see, how far along am I? About a little over half done. Cool, cool. So witch water has a interesting property that it can transform mobs that fall through it into other mob types. So I ended up building like a drop channel here, and so using a standard vanilla sign, what I'm going to do is make a single channel here. So when I free this skeleton, it's going to drop down through the witch water and then be converted into come on, fall. You gonna fall? He's not gonna fall. Okay, he's gonna make a liar out of me, isn't he? All right. What is he stuck? Are you stuck in the block? I want to damage you. Maybe I'll need to. So let's ideally I would like an undamaged dude, but let's try see if I can nudge him over here. Yep, okay, so he fell through, and is he falling? Is he not falling? Okay, he fell in the water, and now he is a... Ta-da! Well, he still says skeleton, but you can see he's now shooting fire arrows because now he's now a wither skeleton. So what I can do is take this, head back over to the spawner, and let's get rid of the pink slime and not run into my grinder. Okay. So let's take the skeleton, put the skeleton in. Let's power that on and get out of the way. Okay. And so in theory what should happen is that the next cycle it should begin to spawn wither skeletons. Oh no, it's still I know what I did. Let's fix this. Let's turn exact copy. No, get out. Exact copy on. Exact copy, yes. Okay. Okay, let's let this run another cycle. And try not to kill myself this time. There we go. Now we're spawning wither skeletons. Excellent. So they're going to come up. They're going to get hit by the grinder, and hopefully, eventually, start spitting out wither skeleton skulls. Great. So that'll power me up towards eventually getting in my 3 skulls that I need to spawn the wither. So excellent. All right. Well, they say the watch pot never boils, but here we go. So this should finish off the ore. So let's come in here. Here's our Iridium Ore. Is that nuclear or not? That's weird. Oh. Yep, my boots are destroyed again. So let's grab another pair of boots. Rubber boots. And that should be quick. Well, I thought it'd be quick as soon as the wool shows up. Alright, there we go. So let's grab another pair of boots, and done. Okay, so I don't think this is nuclear, because I think if I would have picked that up, I probably would have started taking damage as soon as I grabbed that. So let's throw in the Iridium Ore with the crystal memory, and this is going to take a while to process. And while that's ticking, I want to get back to the next step, which is the Mass Fabricator. So let's grab one of these with the Lapitron crystals, and yep, so that should be everything I need. So let's take that guy and also throw it up here on in our stack. So let's see, what would be a good place? Let's put it over here and take a look at it. So the Mass Fabricator isn't going to do much. So let's grab, do I have more MV cables? Let's take a quick look. I might actually, I think I'd research, I'm going to need the high voltage cable. So let me think about HV connectors. Okay, so HV wire coil. Yep, refined iron. Let's go with that. And then the HV wire connectors are going to be aluminum with hardened clay. And I'm not sure if I have that still. Missing aluminum ingot. Alright, so that just means I have the wrong kind of aluminum. Aluminum, yeah, 2,000 of these. So let's grab that out too. Plug that in and re-request. Okay, and so back to the wire coil. Done. And then the wire connector, I really should start making these transformers, because that's gonna allow me to carry more power farther distances. All right, let's see which of the flavors of the aluminum is it. I think it's, yep, Tinker's Construct aluminum. And there we go. 4 wire connectors and some wire coil. So let's see, where can I plug this in a way that's not going to be too crazy of a power draw? I guess in a way I should just keep powering it off of this trunk, but I don't know if that's the best idea. So let's plug that in there. HV wire coil to here. Yep, that connects. So let's take a look at the Mass Fabricator is what's going to require the UU power, if I recall. Yep. So I think actually, alright, let's grab some of this scrap and start crafting it into the scrap boxes. Alright, so 7 scrap boxes. Let's throw them in here. Alright, so this should be a power amplifier. So the question is, I don't think this is enough power here to power the fabricator. So it does not take an overclocker upgrade, which means it's just going to be naturally slow. Question is how... I'm not even at 1% progress so far, so I'm thinking that something's not working right. So let me take a quick cut and see if I can find the problem. Yep, I guess that was the problem. So what I ended up doing was moving it over to the capacitor bank over here, and so it's now ticking up quite nicely. Now if I add the scrap boxes, we can see that that is greatly increasing the progress, though it's only creating 1 millibucket worth. So yeah, at this point, how much power am I? Okay, so I'm still neutral here, so I must be able to produce at least at the same rate that's being consumed here. So let's head back and check on the scanner. Okay, the scanner is not getting enough power at all, since it's probably sharing the power feed with all of these guys still. I guess I could look into some kind of automated conversion process for the scrap. Maybe I'll look into seeing what the logistics pipe autocrafting can do. But at this point, let's see, 99. Okay, so this is what I want. With only 120 millibuckets, I'm going to save this to the card. And so Iridium Ore can now reproduce as soon as I get myself a replicator. Alright, this is going to get a little convoluted, but bear with me because I need to make some reinforced blocks. So reinforced stone. Okay, so reinforced stone by itself does not have a formula associated with it. But what you need to do is mix a variety of steps. So I made some of this CF powder, construction foam. Okay, and I'm going to have to put it through the canning machine with water in order to produce construction foam liquid. So let's load this in here. Oops. Okay, I don't want canning. I just want a direct. Here we go. That should work. So I want to drain the liquid into the side holder here. So let's see if that works. And that should produce a bucket of construction foam. Excellent. So let's take our tank and plop it here. And so now we have. Whoops. That's okay. That extracted our fluid, which is not quite what I wanted. So let's dump that out. Do I have any more tanks? I forgot to check if there was actually something in there. Figures, I was hoping to have a seamless demonstration, but like most things, it doesn't work out that way. So let's change this empty tank out here. Okay. Then the other tank, where did the other tank go? Oh, it fell on the ground, of course. So let's go down and load up the tank. So now we have some construction foam. And I'm going to use this CF sprayer, which is pretty easy recipe. Iron casing and a fluid cell, which is just tin and glass. So I think I should be able to just right click. No? No? Okay. Maybe not. Can I load this in? CF sprayer. Will the CF sprayer get filled? Yes, actually it did. Okay, so what I need to do is place down a construction block and then, whoop! Okay, that's not what I wanted. Okay, but interesting enough, it did produce construction foam. And so what I'm going to have to do is just wait for this stuff to solidify. So it's going to take a while to transform, but I think that I'm on a good step here. So I'm going to call this an episode because, again, this is going to turn into a waiting game. I need to wait for the foam to turn into stone. I need to wait for the UU matter to build up. I need to wait for more scrap boxes to develop, and I need to wait for wither skeleton skulls. So if you could, please leave a comment or a like and let me know how I'm doing. And I will see you next time in Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock Expert Mode. Bye!